So I reviewed some trail running shoes a couple of weeks back, and I had a few comments about the Brooks Cascadia 14s that I was wearing and people asking me how I was getting on with them. And I also did a 55k run in them at the weekend, all off-road, lots of different kind of types of trail. I thought people might be interested just to know how I found the shoes on a much longer run, if you're thinking of using them for the same. Someone else also asked me, how do you kind of avoid getting injuries when you're doing lots of mileage and doing longer runs? And I think having the right shoe is definitely a key part of that. And my personal preference, and it won't be the same for everyone, is a shoe with a little bit of support, not too much, but just enough to kind of make sure that your feet are kind of treading in a good stride over longer runs, particularly as your feet start to tie and your ankles start to roll and all that kind of stuff. So one thing I found about the Cascadia 14s, you can see here, on the 55k run I did this weekend versus the 40k I did the weekend before, was that my ankles were rolling a lot less, my feet were a lot less tired, my toes actually came out better at the end of the run. People who run a lot of trail running and a lot of kind of off-road running will know that your toes and your kind of forefoot can get a little bit of a battering as you're going off-road, and you can occasionally get kind of bruising and that kind of stuff, and I certainly got that a little bit with my old Cascadias that were pretty worn out, and the new pair fit like a glove, and my feet were kind of as good as they were going into the run and coming out of it. I had no issues with my ankles rolling, no real issues with any aches or pains on my knees or anything, and overall I think the shoe plays a big part in that. So I was super happy with them. Just after I finished the run, I also put together a few other thoughts on the shoe, which I'll tag onto this video. I'd say about the Brooks Cascadia 14s, and this is versus the previous pair that I've been running in, and I've run a lot of miles in these old shoes, my Cascadia 12s, is that the support is really, really well done. I mean, these are not a super supportive shoe. You can get much more supportive options if that's what you are looking for. But I found from 30k onwards on my run up to 50, the support was just what I wanted, and my feet weren't kind of rocking around, rolling around too much when they were tired. And I think that's what makes the Brooks Cascadia such a good shoe, is when your foot is starting to get tired, not only have you got the support, but you've got the room in the toe box to let your foot breathe and spread out a bit. And they seem to prevent my feet getting tired. And if I compare my 40k run with my old pair, my feet were definitely much more tired in the back end of the run compared with the new pair today. So I would say, definitely, swap your shoes if you're feeling like your old ones are a bit tired. You'll definitely appreciate that extra, the newness of the cushioning, and also that support in the new shoe. And I would say the 14s versus the 12s are a massive improvement in all regards, and it just feels like they've spent a lot more time looking at the fit and the support and the difference it makes in a long ultra style run is something I think you'll really notice, and is definitely worth the money. I should say I've probably covered getting on for a couple of 100k in my new Brooks Cascadias, and I've done a mixture of running on road, but mainly off-road, and it's pretty dry at the moment, so it's been kind of dry tracks and dusty trails and that kind of stuff. And I would say, a couple of 100k in, they are absolutely kind of looking like a good investment. No issues with the shoes whatsoever.